All right, hello everybody. We're here at the Alien Escape, and we're gonna check it out. You can see the CGI's up there, and there's gonna be the timer, has to be connected. And then look, there's gonna be an alien up in the ceiling. He's gonna be scary. These props are just kind of laying up against the wall at the moment. That CGI is not the right CGI for there, but that's okay. We got to get this light working. And then that is not the right CGI for theirs either, but that's okay. It's going to get fixed. And then we've done a lot more work in this room. You can see there's a computer going off. And look at that, isn't that cool? And then there's aliens up there. We have to put the ceiling back in. We gotta get plexiglass down here. But look at this. And look at that up there. Is that cool or what? Then this was done. See that? That's a forced perspective. But yeah, it's all looking really, really cool. This is Alien Escape, in case you forgot. This is gonna be our 8th escape room. Now, I'll be right back, Adam. Adam's fixing stuff 24 hours a day. Okay, so we're gonna walk over here. We're gonna look at the haunted house because progress has been made, and we're gonna talk a little bit about. How to build your own haunted house from scratch. And we're going to take a look at it. Now, we did some other things today as well. We put a pentagram. Whoops, it got real dark. Hold on. We put a pentagram up today. A pentagram in the church, the satanic church scene. So a pentagram got put in today. If you look at my Instagram page, which go to my Instagram page, it's at Scarefest. And give us a follow. Follow us on Instagram, would you? But if you go to the Instagram page, you'll be able to see where I posted a video of the pentagram up in the ceiling. And follow us on Instagram. I expect everyone watching this video to follow us on Instagram. So, there's a lot going on here. And we have not put tickets up for sale for the tour. But here's what we did do. We uploaded a video to the Hauntworld page promoting the tour. We actually set up the ticketing so it's actually perfect. Got new tickets made. We got lanyards getting printed, all for this tour. Okay? That's what we did so far. I haven't put them up for sale. And why? Well, I kind of explained this in another video. I'm a little terrified of not getting this particular project done in time to where it's actually going to look good and people are going to think, wow, that was really cool. We started this project, in January. Technically, it's still January. So we've only been working on it for about 2 weeks, I'm guessing. 2 weeks we've been working on it. And my fear is that we're not going to be able to do something like really spectacular because we don't have enough time. So I've really had to work overtime here on the thinking part, which really I wasn't doing a very good job of trying to figure those things out, because I was really struggling with, you know, trying to figure out exactly what to do. So one of the things that you do to get over that is you go out and you start to try to buy stuff, you know. And so I did a lot of rolling around I think it was last Saturday, and I went out and I just started buying stuff, and I actually didn't buy anything. I was just looking, okay? And that's what I was doing, just looking. And trying to, you know, figure out what we can do in a short period of time. So we did come up with a list of some things that we needed to buy in order to try to put this together. But as far as getting tickets for sale, what I wanted to do is I first wanted to see how far we got by the end of this week. So I'm still waiting to see how far we get this week. I think we can get the kitchen done tomorrow. I think that on Friday we might be able, you know, to get something else done. I don't know. But in terms of carpentry wise, I think it's going to take the rest of this week and all of next week to say, okay, the framing part is done. Now I did determine today that we would not have enough vacuum foam. So I did call, you know, our friends over at Nethercraft. I think they changed their name though, but I'm not sure. And I asked them point blank if I could get some more, and they said, yeah, we can. And I'm going to tell you something. When you see how the haunted house gets completed and how we're stacking vacuum foam with other forms of wall treatments, I think that you're going to come away with, wow, you can really get something done with a mixture of a vacuum foam and regular wall treatments. So I think what I want to do, and it looks like I'm here pretty much by myself, is I'm just going to give a walkthrough and show you what we've done so far. And so this segment, I'm going to talk a lot about vacuum foam, okay? And that's really going to be the topic of this video, is vacuum foam, all right? Vacuum foam. And I'm also going to talk about staging. And we're also going to look at all the cool new Ghost Ride props we got today. So we're going to cover a lot of ground. Kudos to Michael Shaley of Ghost Ride. He's been shipping stuff like nonstop. He hasn't shipped everything, but we've gotten 2 giant packages, and his stuff is just amazing. And so I'm really looking at, you know, what's next. What is he going to ship next? We're really looking forward to that. So let's dive in and take a look. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is staging. So when you're going to build, oh, look who's here. It's Mr. Rotten Res. So we have a surprise. Now, Mr. Rotten Res, because that's the name of your company, right? Yeah. It's the most bizarre name I've ever heard for a company, but that's okay. Yeah, it's the most bizarre. In my last video, I was walking, because you know I don't do any editing, so yeah. People, you know, people got it like a little, it was like a little sneak peek of reveal. They didn't really see anything.
You think someone's gonna steal ideas?
Yeah, I think people are gonna steal your ideas. No, they're not, but that's okay. But anyway, I mentioned that, you know, that you were making some new animations. Yeah. So my question is, since you're here, would you like to tell people what your plan is? Now, last year you had 1 booth, right?
Yep.
This year you have 10.
Well, we have 2 booths.
Oh, 2. I'm sorry.
I wish I had 10.
Yeah, you're not at that point. What am I thinking?
You know how much 10 booths we got?
Yeah, I know. I was kidding, by the way. He doesn't have the money for 10 booths. What are you kidding?
I have 2, and we're gonna be in the dark zone.
You're gonna be in the dark zone.
Yeah.
Rotten Res Studios,
216.
booth 216. And how many animations are you gonna have?
We're gonna try and do 6.
You're gonna have
Maybe more though. I don't know. It just depends. We have like 35 days or something as of today until the show, and we have nothing ready.
Hey,
Well, Selena has her skeleton thing done, but she's got to make 3 more of them.
hey, let's show them the thing that you made for up here. Can we show them that?
Oh yeah, let's show them.
Let's go see. We
But I
made
don't
it.
want anybody to get any ideas.
Yeah, we don't want you to get any ideas, but we want to show you this scare that we made. Okay, look at this scare right here. Now, this scare right here is going to be installed right there. Let's take a look at this thing. Yep, let's take a look. Now, watch how scary this is.
So they would come up to it, and this would be bolted into the wall, and they grab the gates, and
That is loud as hell.
yeah, we built it like a tank.
Yeah.
Too much like a tank.
Oh, it's terrifying. But anyway, before I go back to what I was doing, which is more productive than anything you're doing right now, would you like to tell people a little bit about what you're doing with Rotten Res? How many animations you gonna have?
So we're gonna try to have 6. We're gonna have some static stuff. We're gonna completely fill out that space. I mean, I remember last year when we drew out 10 by 10 on the floor, we were like, oh, we got so much room. And then we got there and it was like, we don't have any room. I feel like that's gonna happen again, but we just gotta get some tape. Because we're gonna go, over here to the limp so we can have an open space, tape it out, and mock up what it's gonna look like. But
All
the
right.
best thing about living in St. Louis is I can go rent a U-Haul the day of the show or the day of load-in, and it's only gonna cost me like $30 to get everything there in one trip.
Or you could just ask Riley to take everything over in a trailer. That's another
Yeah, I
thing.
could do that.
Yeah, you probably could do that. Yeah,
You think he'd be willing to help me out and lend me a hand?
for more than $30. But yeah, he probably would.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be at booth 216 in the Dark Zone.
Rotten Res.
We'll be directly across from Killer Props.
Okay.
We're gonna be to the right.
Hey,
of
so
Props.
so we're done talking about Rotten Res. Nobody cares. But do you think we're gonna get this haunt done?
I hope.
You hope?
Yeah. I think we're good. Did you show them all the new room over there?
No, we're going to. We're gonna go look at it right now.
Now that I saw that room and how fast those carpenters got that built, whenever this palette of animations show up, I'm gonna start bringing them in. Or you want me to wait?
No, we're gonna sell them day
If they
one.
showed up tomorrow. Do you want me to start?
Oh yeah, we're gonna start piling them in. Yeah.
All right. Well, you need to tell me where you want them.
All right.
All
So
right, well, I got these. Hey, before I'm getting ready to take off, I'm going to Granger tomorrow because I got to get a thing for those air tanks.
yeah, I think you what you should do is just like stay right behind those bars. I think that's where you belong. It's where you belong. I think a lot of people would agree with me.
What do you think people think of this?
I think it's going to be.
I'm going to leave feedback on that.
Yeah, we need feedback. We need feedback. So, anyway, in order to get this done, you have to have staging. So you can see stuff is staged, and stuff is even staged in here, because you're not literally trying to overclutter your space. All of these strips are made for that hallway over there, which we're gonna do next. So we've decided, as you can see this room right here, nothing is going on in here. We're gonna do it dead last. It's gonna be the last thing that we do. So you're not gonna really see a whole lot going on in here. But let's check this out, because we did get this done. And this is pretty cool. It's a claustrophobic hallway. Okay, and there's a hole right here for the actor. Okay, and we're gonna fill this with all kinds of stuff hanging in your way. Okay, and you come around this corner, and the actor can jump out at you. He can also walk in between the two, and and he can scare over there, he can scare out here. We're trying to make it very actor friendly. Now, this is going to be entering the kitchen, and so this was a last minute decision here to do a kitchen, but we want to stay with this claustrophobic feel, so this is supposed to be your cabinets and they're broken into the wall. There you go. So we'll put all kinds of stuff on this wall and do it to it. And this is going to be the kitchen. Now, it's actually going to be really cool the way that it gets wall treatment. Now, that's going to be in another video, maybe even tomorrow. But this, I thought, was pretty wild. So this is the window looking out of the building. And I decided that we would put these frames and this screen on it because I just think it's making the whole space look bigger when you look out the window and you can see you're on the second floor. That means some light's going to get in, but that's okay. So the way we're going to do this room, and we're hoping to really get this thing knocked out, we're going to build a butcher, bar type thing right in the middle here, and it'll have a lot of gory stuff, and then we'll have something over the top of it so chickens and everything can hang. And then this is going there, and then you got one there, it's going to go there, and then that hood's going to go up there, and then we're going to frame it up with 1x3 and then put tile all in the center. And we're gonna do the same thing here. And then on the top, we're gonna put brick. And I think it's gonna look great. It's gonna look fantastic. And so you'll just kind of come into the room and you'll go around the butcher bar and then you'll go around like this. And then this is gonna be a really ornate hallway. And you can see we're gonna have all kinds of stuff to put on the walls. And then you're going to hit a wall here, but we're not putting it in right now because, we're moving things in, we're moving things out. Okay. And then this room has been started. Okay. This actually will be the next room that once we finish the kitchen, we'll get on this room and we'll get this room done. It's not going to take a long time to get this room done. This room is going to have a Unit 70 animation in here. And it's going to have a bunch of wooden barrels, a bunch of dead hanging bodies. It's going to be hopefully cool. It's a big room, and we have a lot of space, and we've got to make the rooms fast. And so it is what it is. Now, one thing I want to say about this first room, you see those fans over there? So we're going to put those fans like up into the walls, and we have another one for over here. And then we're thinking about having some furnaces where people are going to be, cremated, and we're thinking about doing that. Now, so when we start looking at all the wall treatments, you can see right now this is just slats, okay? Now, when you come in here, look at this. I bought this today. So we made this bumper. We're trying to make this clown car look better because it never really looked good. We're going to totally cover it in, what do you call it? Corrugated steel. We're going to frame it on, put a bunch of bolts on it, make it look real rusty. But we wanted to give it a, like a grill and headlights and a bumper. So we're building that at this particular time. But look at this, okay? So you see this vacuum form, it's framed in place. And then we've got these divider squares, and we have whole pieces of corrugated steel up there. And eventually, if we get time before the show, we'll put a roof over the top. So we're gonna build a bunch of crates stacked up here. So you'll go in the clown car, you'll come out of the clown car, and we have to do this particular hallway right here. But see, look, let me show you something. Now look at this. We've taken a 1x12 or 2x12 and a 1x6, and we've made a stepped, footer. And then it's all corrugated steel. And then across the top, look how we took those skull panels, we framed them in, and we gave it a ledge. See, there's a ledge all the way around. Okay. And then we did this whole wall here, 100% in skull panels. Now we're gonna paint these skull panels all rusty, kind of like a Road Warrior kind of theme, and then we'll coat it in blood and everything else. Okay, so it's not supposed to be skulls, it's gonna be rusty, like heavy metal skulls. And so you've got corrugated steel, but you see how it's framed on and then you got this like top piece. And by the way, I really believe that if you're gonna do a haunted house, you should do everything 10 feet tall. Now, by the way, these barrels are not painted. This is just paint that got on them when we were painting the corrugated steel. But this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a maze of barrels, okay? And so the actors, see, they can come around the barrels, they can chase people around through here. Now, this is something clever we did. You can see down there, we made a little grill. That's gonna be a hazer, because we're gonna put lasers in this room right around the 2-foot mark. And I just think when the scene is done, it's really gonna be incredible. Now, this is an immediate access corridor out of the haunted house. But an actor, he'll have a slamming double door here, and it's downstairs. I went and bought it, and so that'll be installed, and the actor can come through there and scare people. You're gonna come through here. We still have to work on this. And now look, here's another example. You have 1x6s, you have corrugated steel, and you can see it's framed on in the corners everywhere. And then you see I'm a very symmetrical kind of person. So you see how that little bitty piece of cinder block is framed on. So this will be all rusty, and it's been treated with some concrete. And we're using little bits of pieces of cinder block and then corrugated steel. And this will get the rest of the corrugated steel. Okay, now I want to show you another example of using layering when it comes to vacuum form. And by the way, all this vacuum form came from Creative, I think they're called like, I can't even remember anymore, but they NRV, I don't know, NVRC. I mean, I think they changed their name. They used to be called Nethercraft, but you can still go to nethercraft.com. So now look at this. We've taken their stone vacuum form. See, we framed it on, so there's 3 across. Now you've got almost whole pieces of brick, okay? And see, we've put the bolts on. It's not been painted right. But do you see, these are gonna be like bands, like holding the brick back. So we're layering it. Now, you might say, wow, that looks like a big giant X. It won't look like that after it's been aged and painted over, and all kinds of other stuff goes on the walls, like electrical panels and so on and so forth. But you can kind of see, and we're getting these bands on there. And you can see these big giant bolts everywhere. But this is another case of where you take a vacuum form and everything, as you can see, is 10 foot tall. You have a whole piece, frame it on, gook on, you know, all of the synergy and rub synergy here and there. And then you can put like a little foundation holding it up. And now we're gonna take these bands, like, you know, they're holding on the bricks. And then it'll be washed over and it won't look so orangey. Now, what's gonna happen in this room is there's gonna be a boiler here with CGI effects. And then right there's gonna be like a barbecue where people are being barbecued. And then there's gonna be a big Unit 70 animation right there, some coal cars right here for the furnace. And then you're gonna walk up into the tunnel. I think it's gonna be absolutely fantastic when it's completely done. And see, then you're gonna walk up into the tunnel. We're gonna use these gory panels to kind of sort of theme this hallway, and everything's gonna be fantastic. Hopefully. But you can kind of see how I don't like to take vacuum form and just stick it on the wall. I like to frame everything on the wall and then maybe stack vacuum form with something else, like in the case of over there, corrugated steel and cinder block, just as an example. And wait till you see what we do with the kitchen, because in the kitchen, we are gonna really do something really cool. We're gonna do a lot of tiles, okay? A lot of tiles mixed with stone. Now look at this. Now we're talking about staging. One of the coolest props you can buy when you're just trying to fill space is metal barrels. So we got a whole bunch more of these. We also got a lot of wooden barrels as well. And we're just staging everything up here. So do you see, this is where all the Ghost Ride stuff is. And a lot of new Ghost Ride props came in. Let me put a light on it so you can see it better. I mean, this stuff is just done so well. Look at this one with the fish. That's crazy, right? That's just like super crazy. Look at that pig and the pot and that head. And here's the thing, and look at all these dead bodies, hanging bodies. I really like Ghost Ride's half bodies, the torso, the head, and the hands. It's got rope. And I like, you know, that you just put them right in the middle of the hallway and you got to walk through it. So we bought quite a few of those. And then here is this baby. Look how disgusting that is. Look at that. That is just gross. And look at these amazing barrel toppers. Isn't that crazy? That's just like, I mean, it just doesn't get any better. But we're gonna have a lot of gore in this haunted house. I mean, a lot. So, the props, a lot of the gory props are coming from Unit 70 as well. We do not have those yet. And then there's more to come from Ghost Ride. But when we get them, we're gonna stage them, like right up in here. So one of the things you don't wanna do is you don't want to just clutter up the space when you're trying to build a haunted house. You wanna, you might have to bring stuff in, like for example, all the kitchen stuff. We had to bring it in and see that would fit so we knew where to put like walls and whatnot, and that's perfectly fine. But you don't want to clutter up the space, okay? You want to be able to work, you want to be able to move. And one of the things I'll tell you, and this is absolutely imperative, that you have these like 40-yard dumpster trash cans, and then they also have one that are 40, I think it's 80 gallon, and then they have like a 40 gallon or a 60 gallon with wheels. You want to have those everywhere, because one of the things, like when people are like working on the haunted house, they tend to like drop crap all over the floor. You're stepping on it. It creates like almost like a landmine, you know, a minefield, okay? And you don't want that. You don't want that. So you want stuff to go in the trash. You want stuff to get put in the trash can on a daily basis. So I can tell you today that I gathered up all the trash. I got a broom, dustpans. I swept up everything I could. I took it to the trash can and I dumped it. You want to always keep your space nice and clean as possible. It actually is going to make the project go faster, believe it or not. So in terms of us getting this tour together in time for Transworld, I can tell you that we've ordered a bunch of new stuff for our horror gift store. Now what's nice is our horror gift store is completely done. It's all nice, it's all put back together, it's all clean, but technically it's not done because we bought a lot of stuff and we don't have it. Maybe we'll get it for Transworld, maybe we won't. It doesn't matter. But as that new stuff comes in, you know, we'll get it and we'll put everything out where it's supposed to be. So I just want you guys to think about something here for a second. Okay, we have literally attempted the impossible. And one of the things I haven't been able to do is sell any mini golfs to any clients because we're so wrapped up with this thing. How could we do a mini golf? But I actually did sell so far 3 of them, and both of these people, you know, want these mini golfs sometime in March or April. So we're gonna have to get off this project and get on building people's mini golfs. So we're gonna have to have this done come hell or high water by the middle of February, because we got mini golfs to build. And I want you to think about what we've done here. We've finished the alien, although it's not completely done, but it's getting there. We finished the alien. We tore out TerraVisions. We made the gift store bigger. We also cleaned out our loft apartment where we want to build the haunted secret bar. So we've done that. We've gone to a trade show for the Halloween party show. We've ordered a lot of new stuff. So there is just so much stuff going on. I mean, like, I don't know any normal human being that would be able to get all of these things done. And you know, and I got plans beyond all of this. I want to redo this museum right here. I am doing a once in 10 year renovation to the darkness. That's what I'm calling it, a 1 in 10 years. Now here's my problem, okay? We're gonna renovate the darkness, and I'm gonna use all the tricks of the trade to make it seem like we've spent $1 million when we really didn't. And we're gonna try to make the scenes as fast as we can, but make it look like we've spent all year on them. This is not easy. And so you're gonna be able to see how we do it once all the carpentry's done and you start to see everything get painted. Then you know what's gonna happen next? We're gonna start taking everything out. Literally, the very next step for me will be to take a broom to it, sweep it out, clean it out, get all the materials that you no longer need out, and start bringing the props in. And then you're gonna see what you do or don't have, what you need to build, what you might need to buy, and then it's gonna be a scramble. Because you gotta do lighting, sound, animatronics. I mean, I don't even know if it's really even possible, okay? That's why we haven't put tickets up for sale, because I really don't know if it's possible. You know, we had people that said they were gonna come and help, they bailed, you know, oh well, you know, things don't always go the way you want them to, but you just have to roll up your sleeves and get it done anyway. And that's what we're trying to do. So I think that maybe by the end of next week, we're gonna start to see the maze be completely framed and a lot of it painted, and we're gonna start trying to try to go out that next week and start to pick up some props that we may need to fill out the space. Let me give you an example. In the kitchen, you see all them shelves? Okay, we don't have anything to put on them shelves, okay? I mean, I'm just calling a spade a spade. That means we're gonna have to go out and buy it. We're gonna have to go out and find it. And it's gonna be a scramble. And so all I wanted to do was make sure that we could get this done, because I just don't want it to be like, you know, I don't think it's gonna be a Taj Mahal. I do think it's gonna be really cool. And do you know why I would buy a ticket and come to our tour to see it? Because this is a kind of haunted house that anybody could do. It's gonna be just a haunted house. I'm gonna call it like a common sense haunted house. It's gonna be a haunted house where you're just using tricks of the trade. And it's gonna be a common sense haunt. But it's also gonna be so much different than the darkness. But when you try to do everything in a scramble, it's gonna be interesting to see how it all ends up. And that's gonna be the fun part. How does it end up? How far can we get? So, with that being said, thanks for watching the video, and hopefully we'll make another video here coming up soon. And we're also gonna be picking up props from Unit 70. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's gonna be happening. And so we'll see just how far we can get. And I think it's time for me to go home. I got stuff to do. And then if we do the tour, I just want to get a little closer to having a good feeling about finishing it. And I do think that we really need to get some more people to come and help. But we'll see. By the way, I also have a quick update. I got a bid on adding my wedge over there. It was like a little over 600 grand. Okay, to build that little wedge. We'll see what happens. Okay, so with all that being said, I'm walking by animatronics from Rotten Res. I shouldn't have done that. But with all that being said, here's our wooden barrels. Oh, and here's those doors I said that I bought today. And then I bought this for a scene up there. And look at those doors. Those are metal doors. They're super, super cool. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. One other thing I want to show you, and I only bought one of these. I saw this at Lowe's. And I was like, you know, even if that didn't stretch across a 4-foot hallway, if you press down on it, it actually will expand, right? That would be a really cool arched, you know, corrugated steel type of ceiling, don't you think? But man, we are stocking up on materials here. We got our shellac, we got everything going on. We got a bobcat in the building, but we will see you very, very soon. So stay tuned for the tickets to go on sale.